By the powers of truth and light, by the sword of justice bright, make and mend, shift and blend, till Knightmare once more stands aright.
Hail friends, and well met. Tonight we rediscover Knightmare, a television show that once broadcast many moons ago on the BBC, beamed through a temporal anomaly from a land far away and long ago. Through the eldritch mists of time and magic, brave champions would come from the future, and those with wits and courage enough to delve into the dungeons of deceit and emerge victorious. Glory awaited. For the others, only a gooey, sticky end and a long walk of shame back to their own time. The timeout is ended. Adventure begins again.
Now let's see, how best to explain it? Well, first let me introduce Traegard, the host of Knightmare.
Traegard at your service, with adventure at my fingertips.
He's a suave, deep voice and exceedingly polite dungeon master who speaks at all times like he's giving the opening monologue to Richard III.
Now is the time of trial.
Now is the winter of our discontent. It may seem like I'm making fun of the guy, but trust me, I'm not. Traegard is the man. He's got this great costume, he's always in character, and somehow he manages to sell the cheapest, dumbest hand-drawn effects as if they were mortal threats.
Emergency, get behind the shield, Julian. The rest of you turn your heads from the mirror. The creature in the chamber is a Medusa. If you don't wish to be turned to stone, don't look at it for more than a few seconds at a time.
You just know he's bagged all the fair maids in that castle with that leathery tan, that grizzly beard, and he's the only guy I know who can pull off white eyeliner. And as dungeon masters go, I can tell you he's sure as hell better than this guy.
Now you're working together!
Anyway, Traegard has built his stronghold over the ever-shifting Dungeon of Deceit, which changes its layout magically and dramatically every season, every time cycle. The dungeon is a dangerous place, filled with monsters, pitfalls, death traps, and nefarious wizards.
Play a while.
Play forever!
So naturally, Traegard does what any sensible Lord of the Realm would do. He conjures up children from the future and sends them inside, unarmed and blindfolded, to go looking for treasure. Oh yeah, he sends them into certain doom, blindfolded. Everyone who goes inside the dungeon gets a knapsack for food, which maintains their life force as represented by this deteriorating cartoon head. And they're also given the Helmet of Justice, a ridiculous hat with these huge bullhorns that makes it so you can't see anything.
You must don the Helmet of Justice. It will blind you to the way ahead, but still allow you to see objects directly beneath.
Gee, thanks, Traegard. The Helmet of Blindness is really awesome. But that's why each player brings 3 friends along to act as advisors to guide them by radio as they watch from Traegard's castle by a mystical, scrying, closed-circuit monitor. The real reason for the blinding helm, of course, is that there isn't really any dungeon. It's all chroma keyed in. The player wouldn't see anything anyway because they're just standing in a huge blue room, but we get to see all the really cool hand-painted backdrops and monsters superimposed on the screen. It's actually a pretty clever concept, and the real test is one of communication between the players. The dungeon is different for each player, but they all share similar rooms. The most common of these is the clue rooms, where the players have to choose 2 out of 3 items on a table, but to know which ones to pick, they have to answer 3 riddles from a nearby living wall monster that asks them riddles. My favorite was Granitas, because I'm immature and he's got a really funny name.
I am Granitas of legend.
Get it? Granitas?
My name is not amusing. Nothing about me is amusing.
But for me, this is the most entertaining part because they have to answer the riddles quickly and I like to test myself. Sometimes the riddles are really insultingly easy and sometimes they are amazingly hard.
9 goddesses there were in Greece, of music, art, and rhyming piece. Now, tell me quick and answer true. What name called they this magic crew?
How are they supposed to know that much about Greek mythology? They're just kids.
Muses was the truth I sought.
Other riddles have a surprising amount to do with Christianity, and one time they asked a bunch of questions about The Hobbit and J.R.R. Tolkien.
Who was the first hobbit to hold the ring?
Well, you see, the answer is probably Bilbo, but on the other hand, you could probably argue that Smeagol was the first one to possess the ring. After all, I mean, didn't he find it in the river? And I don't think it was ever really established one way or the other whether or not Smeagol was a hobbit or just one of a hobbit-like race, so I don't know if that counts. No, wait, it was Deagle! Deagle was the one who found the ring in the river, and then Smeagol stole it, so the answer's Deagle, if he was a hobbit.
Should I say Bilbo Baggins?
Yes, say that, Scott. Bilbo Baggins.
No! It's a trap!
Truth accepted.
Oh, bullshit! Read the book, you stupid wall!
It may look easy, but trust me, this dungeon does not screw around, and almost nobody wins. It's like the British equivalent of Ninja Warrior, sort of, only with dragons and riddles instead of exercises. You'd think with kids playing they'd kind of take it easy on them, but not here. Half the fun is just watching them get destroyed in really creative ways. When you're watching this, you're on the edge of your seat, shouting directions. No, don't go that way! Other times you're sitting there shouting the answer to a riddle and you can't believe they don't know it! So many teams will get so close to the end and then, BAM! Lightning bolt to the fucking head! That kid is dead as shit.
My favorite part is whenever the player would die, Treguard would just kind of put his hands on his hips, shake his head, and say something like, "Oh, chunky."
Nasty. Ooh, nasty. Very nasty.
Do you like maggots, Douglas?
Yeah. Nasty.
What's the matter? Don't you like my pie?
Ooh, nasty. Ooh, nasty.
I think they must choose idiot kids on purpose or something, because even as a kid, you knew you were smarter than these limey little twerps. Everyone who ever watched this hated the kids because you knew you could crush this dungeon and give better directions than any of them. But that's why the show was so good. It made you feel like you were smarter than everyone else. Most teams fell prey to the same problems, which prompted me to make this little pointless survival guide to Knightmare. You know, in case the show ever comes back and you're a contestant or your kid is a contestant. Alright, it's pointless. Shut up. Tip number 1. Study riddles. I cannot emphasize this enough. 3/4 of the dungeon relies on you acing every riddle you come across. You have to answer all of the wall monster's riddles correctly to know what items to choose off the table, because if you choose wrong, you're as good as dead. You have to get a perfect score against Merlin, or he won't give you the magic you need to survive later on, and you need that or you're dead.
My name is Merlin the Magnificent, but my close friends call me Bert.
I don't know why Merlin is so keen to let little kids walk right into a dragon's lair without any protective magic just because you couldn't remember the capital of Assyria, but hey, I guess that's Merlin. And usually there's another riddler on the 3rd level. Again, it's absolutely essential that you ace that round. There is no chance otherwise. Actually, I'm kind of surprised at how unforgiving the game is in this regard. One strike and you're pretty much dog food.
Well done! You've made it to level 2! Whee!
Tip number 2. Practice giving directions. Every team I've ever seen play can only give directions at 90-degree angles, and some of them even have trouble differentiating left from right. That is just inexcusable. I remember when they started including this particular room that required the Dungeoneer to move diagonally forward and to the left, and the concept of diagonal movement just blew the team's minds, because they had no idea how to convey the concept of turning only 45 degrees to the left and jumping forward. Referring to directions in times of a clock face would have saved more than one team, I can tell you that much.
Nasty.
Tip number 3. Elect one person to give directions, and one person only. It is hard enough trying to talk a blind person through a trapped chamber, but now imagine you're that guy, hearing 3 different voices shouting 3 different directions. One's telling you to stop, one's telling you to go forward, and another one's telling you to turn left, then go forward, and trying to interpret them all before an ogre shoves his foot up your ass.
Quickly.
Take one step forward.
Left, one step forward. Akash, quick, one step forward and run. Just run.
No, we've got to come down here, haven't we?
All right.
What? What left?
No, he's got to come
No,
out
no,
here.
which way? No, fuck.
No, he's got to come out here.
Exit through the door.
No, I can't hear you.
Force
Which
energy.
way?
Can you
Which
take
way?
side steps to your right,
You
please? Keep
bastards.
going. Side steps to your right. Can you please keep going?
Tip number 4. Stop saying right. It must be a common figure of speech in the UK to preface and end every sentence with the word right. Like, right, just going to pop round the corner shop, right? That it's probably the worst possible thing to say when you're giving directions. I swear to God, you'll hear so many exchanges just like this.
Right, Nigel, there's a deadly fork in front of you, and you need to stay right in the middle of the path. So turn left, right? You what? You want me to turn right? No, left. No, left, Nigel. Left? Right. Right? No, I said left. Go left. But you just said right when I said left. No, I was agreeing with you. You were agreeing with me when I said left? Right. When I said right? No! Would you make up your bloody mind already? All right then, just listen, will you? I am listening!
Ooh, nasty.
Tip number 5. Roleplay a little, would you? The kids on this show are some of the most awkward, bumbling squares I've ever seen on television. I mean, they're just deaf.
Your name for the roles, please.
Martin Roundtree.
Tony Blakey from Sunderland.
John Scott from Sunderland.
This is what kills Knightmare's momentum. These kids have got zero enthusiasm. Most of the time they seem to be scared stiff of the people they have to interact with, like Folly the Jester and the hot elf maids, and they struggle to answer even the most basic yes or no questions. That elf maid, she can raid my tomb anytime. I don't even know what that means. The characters were the best part of the whole show, too. You'd think after a few years the kids would want to loosen up and exchange some witty banter with the fun characters in the series, or talk smack to the evil sorcerers. I loved characters like the mad monk who insulted everyone, but really just wanted a hug and a friend.
Falsehood! Turtle brain! Crush!
Incoming message from the big giant head.
I enjoy observing fear. I shall enjoy observing yours.
I think the creepiest this ever got was when the kids had to cheer up the gargoyle by telling him how handsome he is.
You're the most beautiful creature in the world.
Oh, it's no good trying to cheer me up.
You're beautiful.
So you like staring at him because he's really nice?
I like looking at you.
What about my face?
So you like his eyes?
I like your
Think
eyes.
I'm charming?
Yes, you're lovely. You're so charming.
Keep going, Mark. Come on,
You're
keep going.
really young. You're so beautiful. I love you. You're amazingly young looking.
Well, I must say.
Tip number 6. Learn to fucking spell! Actually, this is where the game seems to show the most mercy, but man, casting magic spells has caused some of the goofiest meltdowns in Knightmare history. When the team is given a magic spell, they have to cast it by spelling the word letter by letter. To dismiss a spell or counter a spell in progress, all they have to do is spell it backwards. Now this is easy stuff, especially since each team member is given a pen and paper, so there is no reason, I mean zero excuse to screw this up. All you have to do is write it down. One of my favorites is when the kid gets his buddy killed trying to spell shovel with a P. But believe it or not, there was actually another team even dumber than that in a moment that would live on in Knightmare infamy. The kids found themselves caught in a climactic showdown with the evil wizard Mordred on level 2. Even Treguard found himself paralyzed and unable to help because of Mordred's sorcery. And this was pretty serious business because at the time, nobody had ever screwed with Treguard. After all, he's the dungeon master. But all they had to do was dispel Mordred's shroud spell by spelling shroud backwards.
D-U-R-H-S.
What? Oh, come on, you idiot. Don't you have it written down?
That's turn spell. D-U-R-H-S.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Oh my God, he does have it written down. How do you fuck that up? Where this gets hysterical is when Treguard tries to throw him a bone even though he's supposed to be paralyzed.
Darn it. Say the word, Jay. There's that word, isn't there?
Yeah, say the word.
Stalactite.
You fool!
Because it might think it's
Neil. Yeah?
Finally, the kid realizes the problem.
Do it again.
Spell. Dispel.
Dispel. Shroud. Oh, yes. I know it is. Dispel. What's dispel? Yeah. O-S-R-D-H-U.
What the fuck did you just spell, you stupid pillock? Put someone else in charge of the spell casting now! The show also takes some very controversial stances on some of the most hotly debated topics in geekdom.
Do female dwarves have beards? Eh?
Yes.
Yes.
No, of course they don't. They're female, aren't they?
I know so many guys who would debate you for days on this issue. I've only ever seen a couple of teams win this game, and I still don't know what the prize is. Treyguard mentions it's the silver spurs of a squire, but all they seem to get is this lame coaster with a picture of spurs on it. What, that's it? That is so lame! Come on, Treyguard, cut him a check or something. These kids busted their asses.
Alas, time has flown. A temporal distortion approaches, and all adventuring must cease. But don't worry. We'll meet again when our time streams realign. Until then, always remember, adventures may stop, but our adventure never ends. Spellcasting X, Y, Z, Z, Y.